So next, let's talk a little bit about dude-on-dude action.
Oh. Oh, man, that is hot. Oh, yeah.
And in this case, I'm talking about extreme metal and dudes who love to play extreme metal guitar. One of the oldest cliches in the book, as a matter of fact, when it comes to rock music, is that the guys that are involved are doing it just to get a little trim, as they say down here in the South, and trying to get some ladies. And, you know, in a lot of cases, it is very much true. But a new study that was put out, it was originally posted on PsychNet, was recently tweeted by an account for a British TV show called, I believe it's Key, QI. Is that Key or I don't know. British people tell me. But anyways, it has stirred up a little bit of a hornet's nest when it comes to the findings. So this study came to the conclusion, and I quote, "Research shows that heterosexual men who learn to play extreme metal guitar are mostly motivated to do so in order to impress other heterosexual men." Now, of course, you put this out on social media. Everybody was shitting on the information. I am here to tell you, from my experience, this is 100% true. Now, let me explain. The study, when you get into the study, it shows that like guys who learn to play guitar to get pussy really only learn like chords and very basic shit. And I believe that to be true as well. Because if you're learning guitar to get pussy, you really don't have to know a lot of guitar. Women have a very low threshold as to what you know how to play the guitar actually means. So if you know a few chords, oh man, that's enough. That's like the dude who, you know, like he's in a frat and, you know, he wants the chicks to think he's the sensitive guy there so that they'll fuck him and hope to ever be spoken to again. And meanwhile, he's the same dickhead. He just picked up 3 guitar chords in a goddamn Dave Matthews Tabs book. No, fuck that. He didn't even buy the book. He just downloaded Crash off the internet. It also makes sense because you're not into it for the art. You're into it for other reasons. So why would you go out of your way to get necessarily better? You don't give a fuck. Like I said, women have a very low threshold for what playing the guitar actually means. And if you could just like sing some bullshit over a couple chords, that'll get you where you got to go. And why would you ever give a fuck to learn any more? Now, if you're someone who is a musician or you've known musicians, been good friends with musicians, and you've ever seen musicians get together. Now, this is people of the same instrument. You see percussionists get together and guitarists get together. This is the 2 biggest offenders. To me, it's not anything that's sexual on any level. To me, it's simple competitiveness. And there is an interest in impressing guys. I know I've heard Dave Mustaine say that one of the main things that's always motivated him all the way up to this day was the thought of being better. He would find guys that he could admit were better than him, and he would fucking obsess about it and try to get better than them. It becomes this pissing contest of who can be the fucking hardest, who can be the fastest, who can be the heaviest. You don't do this for chicks, because chicks don't give a fuck about any of this. You could be a guy who knows how to play fucking, you know, Joe Satriani and fucking John Petrucci, and you could play all this next level shit. And once again, a dude who can only play like 2 Dave Matthews songs, to a chick, he's better than you because she knows that fucking song and she can sing along. She can't sing along with your biddly biddly boo. So that's why, you know, I know John Petrucci had said, he's lamented, why aren't there more women at Dream Theater shows? The more technical rock music becomes, the less interesting it is to women. If there was a graph, it would be, you know, it would look like an X. As one goes down, as one goes up, the other goes down. That's why, you know, I've said it in the past. You go to a Dream Theater show, there's like 4 chicks and they look bored as fuck and their boyfriends are like, right? Isn't it great? Women don't give a fuck about time signatures, bro. They just don't. There are a few women out there who know all this shit and the guys are fucking in love with them, but guys don't get to that level for any other reason than to impress other guys. But the way that all these clickbait fucks have put the story out there, they've tried to make it sound like a homosexual thing. The study specifies this is heterosexual dudes. And anyone, like I said, if you've known musicians, you know speed, technicality, brutality. These are the things that guys do to impress and fuck with each other. It has nothing to do with chicks. I know Richard Christie, he was drummer for Death, which is, you know, considered one of the seminal bands when you talk about that type of music. Death metal, fucking extreme metal. This guy said they toured the world and he did not get laid for 10 fucking years. And they would say, why? You're a rock star. You're out on the road. You're not getting laid. It's like, yeah, man, it was a sausage fest. It was mainly guys. And the only girls that were there were with other fucking guys. I mean, so if you're somebody who was interested in learning extreme death metal and shit like that for the chicks, I got some fucking sour news for you, man. There's nothing coming your way. You better go online and get one of those fucking fleshlight strokers. Do the gimmick where you lodge it in between your box spring and your fucking mattress and you pretend it's a lady. You better get used to that shit, because like the great Cyndi Lauper said, girls just don't want to have fun. They don't give a fuck about how many strings are on your goddamn bass. You're like, oh, this guitar is like a Stradivarius level. They don't give a fuck, man. They really don't care. If they didn't have panties, their panties are crawling back onto them. They took 44 straight male guitarists, and it did reveal that some aspects of guitar playing are linked to a desire to get laid. You know, it's funny, I had read this originally in Metal Hammer, and I was so fucking annoyed. In parentheses, it says, which is a bit depressing. Come on, lads, it's 2022. Are we seriously gonna fucking say, oh, dude, haven't you evolved past wanting to get some pussy? We will never, dude, that is the fucking basis of life. You find out a chick's into a band. Now you get all the merch and you pretend like you're into that band. Is that such a bad fucking thing? If you went and you learned some guitar chords and you did that because, you heard this girl likes somebody who plays a guitar, is that so fucking horrible? You know what happens a lot of times is that's how you get in. It's almost like you get into art because, they're the chicks, but you fall in love with the art. That's how even a douchebag can get into the arts. But yeah, come on. Metal Hammer, for real? In Metal Hammer, they're shaming guys for learning guitar so they can get pussy. It was fucking, at the beginning of the article, they refer to John Lennon making a comment. The comment was, and I quote, one of the main reasons to get on stage is that it's the quickest way of making contact. And for those of you who can't fucking get the context, he's talking about getting contact with that little delectable piece of heaven. Anyways, I'll descend and get just more and more disgusting as I go. So I'm going to just cut it off. Your dick can make you do a lot of terrible things. And as far as terrible things go, learning the guitar in order to try and get laid is very, very low on the list of shit your evil dick will get you into. So anyways,